Okay, so today in class we were continuing our discussion on Chapter 9. We're talking about multiplying polynomials. This is a little bit different from adding and subtracting polynomials, but just as easy, I think. So, if you missed class today, this is a great way to get caught back up. So, if you stop the video at any time to take down the notes and try solving these for yourself. So, here we go. So, first off, I want you to recall what we do in this situation. So, I have 3x plus 2. What would you do in this situation? Hopefully, in your mind, you think distribution. So I'd use the distributive property. So I distribute to 3 to everything inside. So we get 3x plus 6. Same thing, similar to this problem right here. 6x plus 4 plus 7 times x minus 2. Okay? So we do the same thing, but we have to distribute twice. We end up getting 6x plus 24 plus 7x minus 14. And what we get when we have to construct combine like terms, we get 13x plus 10. So this right here is the essence of kind of what we're going over today. We're still using the distributive property, but in a way that you haven't seen quite before. So please, like I said, feel free to stop the video at any time, take down the notes, try a homework problem, finish figuring it out on your own, whatever you need. Feel free to do that at any time. So first off, let's start with an example. We have 2x cubed times x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. So in this problem, we have a monomial multiplying by a polynomial. So we have 4 terms inside the parentheses and 1 term on the outside. Now we apply the distributive property just like we did from above. So you take 2x cubed and distribute it to every single term inside there. So what you end up getting was, and this is here very broken down, is 2x cubed times x cubed plus 3x squared times 2x cubed. Okay, then you take 2x plus 2x cubed times negative 2x plus 2x cubed times 5. Alright, so I know this right here looks like a jumbled mess, but we have to remember our exponent rules that we talked about last Thursday. So we take 2 times the understood 1, that's a 2. Then x cubed and x cubed, those are like bases. So with like bases, we add the exponents. So 3 plus 3 is x to the 6th. And that term is done. Move on to the next term. 3 times 2 is 6. Then we have x squared and x cubed. Again, like bases. So we add the exponents. So x to the 5th power. And that term is done. Same thing here. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And x cubed times x, which is the understood 1 with the x, becomes x to the 4th. Because 3 plus 1 is 4. And that term is done. So then we have the very last term, 2x cubed plus 5. We multiply our 2 and 5, which is 10. We have nothing to combine our x with, so it just stays the same. So this is our final answer. So that's how we use the distributive property, to solve or multiply polynomials. Okay? So let's do another one, a little bit simpler one. So we have x, 7x squared plus 4. So we do the same thing. We have the x on the outside, so we distribute it through. Okay? So we have x times 7x squared plus x times 4. So I take the x and multiply by everything inside the parentheses. So then we have to simplify and combine like terms if necessary. So we have a 1 here, so 1 times 7 is just 7. We have like bases of x with an understood 1 there. So 2 plus 1 is x to the 3rd. So that term is done. And what we only have left is x to the 4, x times 4, which is just 4x, and that term is done. So that's that problem simplified. Okay, continue on and work this example. 3c cubed, 8c to the 4th, minus c squared, minus 3c, plus 5. Now I would like for you to pause the video now and try working this example on your own to see if you understand the concept. Okay, so hopefully you tried the problem on your own. So let's work through it together and you check your answer. So we distribute the 3c cubed to everything. So we have 3c cubed times 8c to the 4th plus 3c cubed times negative c squared plus 3c cubed times negative 3c plus 3c cubed times 5. Okay? So now let's combine like terms. So 3 times 8 is 24. C and c are like bases. We can add the exponents. We get c to the 7th. That term is done. 3 times negative 1 is a negative 3. C to the 3rd and c squared are like bases, so we can add the exponents of c to the 5th. That one is finished. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Like bases, the understood 1 there, so c to the 3rd power, c to the 1st power, c to the 4th power. Then 3 times 5 is 15, with nothing to combine with our c's, so that is our final answer. So check your answer with mine and see how you did. Okay, so this right here was multiplying monomials times polynomials. Okay, so the next example that we're going to do, and I'm going down here to number 5, is multiplying binomials with trinomials. So that means we have 5x plus 2 negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. Now, this right here may seem a little bit more difficult, but it's the same process. We're still using the distributive property. So in class today, the students felt it easier if we broke it apart in this way. And 5x times negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus 2 times negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. So all I have done is taken the first term and multiplied it against the second set of the trinomial. Then I took the second part of the binomial, put it here, and then put the trinomial with it. So now all we have to do is apply the distributive property like we did above. So 5x times negative 3x squared, so 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. X and x squared comes out to x cubed. So that's that one. So 5x times 4x is plus 20x squared, because x and x is 1s and 1s, so add those together is 2. And negative 5x times negative 1 is negative 5x. So that is the first set of the problem done. Now what I do is the second set. So 2 times negative 3x is just negative 6x squared. 2 times 4x is plus 8x. Then 2 times negative 1 is just negative 2. Now looking at this problem right here, we're not completely done. And I hope that you notice that, hey, that we can combine our x squareds and our x's, combine like terms like we did on Monday. So we have negative 15x cubed. Can't combine anything with that, but I have 2x squareds. A 20x squared and a negative 6x squared. So I get plus 14x squared when I combine the two. I have negative 5x and 8x, so I get plus 3x when I combine them, and let's have a negative 2. Now our problem is completely simplified and solved. So the only difference in this one right here is we had to break the first set of parentheses up and distribute to our trinomial. So we'll do one more together, and I hope that you'll be able to do the homework from tonight. Or for tonight, I guess. So pause the video now. Well, once I write the problem, pause the video and see if you can try and work this problem. Okay, so hopefully you paused it and worked it out, so check your answer with mine. So let's break it apart. So it's s squared plus 6s minus 5 plus 4 times s squared plus 6s minus 5. Okay, so I just broke it apart. This goes here, and that goes over there. Okay, so just distribute. So s times s squared, like basis, we add the exponents, plus 6s squared, add the exponents to the base, minus 5s. Alright, so that's the first set done. Now let's do this. So 4s, or 4 times s squared is plus 4s squared. 4 times 6s is plus 24s. And 4 times negative 5 is just negative 20. Alright, so we notice here that we're not completely done, because we have s squareds and 2 s's here that we can simplify to. So we have s cubed, that's gone. S squareds, we have plus 10s squared, plus 19s, minus 20. And now we're simplified. So these are the two topics that we covered today in class. Try your homework. Your homework was the worksheet I printed off for you, 1 through 10. And then 21 through 25. Bring that to class with any questions that you do have. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.